try and go live here. I hope that the video quality will be good. This was a spur of the moment thing. I had intended to just go film this video. I went back and forth with everything, but I'm losing sunlight, so I decided to do it right here, where typically I get good data, and I thought, let's do it live. I wanted to do a little video for Fixed Blade Friday, and I wanted to explain why I'm so far behind on knife and adventure content, and I'm behind on my vacation adventure content as well. So before this adventure happened, I was using the Wander Tactical Smilodon, this guy right here, and I cut my hand open pretty darn good. I severed a nerve, I believe, but I also believe that I penetrated the capsule of the knuckle. And now, that took a lot of time to heal. That was pretty gnarly. And that put me behind schedule on my knife reviews and adventure reviews before my vacation. I took a 2-week vacation, and things haven't gotten a lot better. My hand's actually at the point where it's getting worse now. Just holding the Hidden Woodsman backpack, my finger twisted to the side slightly. My finger that was not cut, problems are starting to spread across my hand. The pain was so bad, I could barely breathe. So things have been weird. I do plan on things getting better. Hopefully, I have to talk to an orthopedic surgeon or whatever coming up here. But I wanted to talk a little bit about some Fixed Blade Friday before I run out of light. I want to start out here with the Knives by Nuge Moleskine. Now, one thing that I want to mention, I want to revolutionize the knife review ecosystem. And what I intend to do is for every knife review that I do coming up, I want to bring a micrometer out and measure the thickness behind the edge, because I absolutely believe that it is the one trait that affects knife performance more than any other trait. And it's the one trait that's never listed in the specs and nobody ever talks about. And I think that has done a disservice to the community who watches knife reviews, because it does not help with ignorance. It does not educate like we should be doing. So, Knives by Nuge Moleskine. This is a little EDC knife that I've really been enjoying. I took this on my adventure with me. Came in a Kydex sheath. I've actually kept the little piece of tape that he put on it, probably to remember which one was which. Came with a slim tech lock. I've never seen a slim one like this, but it's pretty darn cool. And the sheath, good retention. It popped in, it pops out. It's not on the level of my favorite custom Kydex makers, but it's good. It's serviceable. I do not intend to upgrade it. So that is saying something. It's a very cool, very practical little EDC knife, a little bit thicker behind the edge than what I normally go for. But that means that if you're doing EDC tasks that are a little more on the abuse size, you've got some peace of mind. It's not thick enough to be disgusting if that is the next thing that you were worrying about. What's up, Dark Camo? Okay, I want to talk really quick. Hopefully I will not wax poetic on the Bushcraft Woodsman by Ontario Knife Company. This knife is actually years in testing and prepared for a review. This knife is, unbeknownst to the market, exactly what the market was asking for, and nobody even knew it. So you'd think I'd want to review it, right? But I didn't, because Ontario had just gone to a point where their quality control was absolutely abysmal. So the worst thing that I can do is review a knife and love it because I got a really good one, and then you get a crappy one and you think I'm an idiot and you think that I'm being paid by the company or something like that. So the number one thing that can happen that is bad for any knife reviewer should be quality control. If they can't keep the quality control consistent, then how good the knife that you're reviewing is irrelevant. But this thing was absolutely fantastic. 420 HC, held an edge plenty well enough for the bush, resharpened incredibly easy, indestructible. It broke my axe handle because I had my crap axe. I was using it as a baton, but hitting the hard, using the handle right short of the head as a baton in the basement to heat the house. Beat on this thing, abuse. Very, very good knife. Scales aren't amazing, but they're removable and replaceable. So this knife, Ontario did all kinds of stuff, screwing up the release of this knife. Then they changed the steel without telling anyone, and they did all kinds of crap, and it didn't sell well for them. I remember talking to them about it, and I think they were talking about discontinuing it far before they went out of business. And they probably only didn't discontinue it because they couldn't sell the ones that they had. I don't know. Ontario is now under new management, and that's why I'm finally talking about it. And I do hope that this is a design and a knife that they will keep. This is the Chris Reeves Green Beret 7. This is a combat knife. This is a lot of people's absolute grail knife. I'm going to run out of light here in a second. And the fit and finish is very nice. The handles are incredibly nice, and I absolutely hate the edge geometry with a passion. I think it's absolutely awful and should be embarrassing. Big, thick, convex edge. Too thick even for a combat knife. Kind of a bummer, but we will review it. Sheath that you would think would come on an Ontario or something else, not a knife at this price point. Very disappointing, but we'll beat the heck out of it. Who knows, maybe we'll break it. We'll talk about my knife really quick. These are on pre-order. This is the Exodus Knife and Tool Workhorse. This is not made by White River Knife and Tool. This is a collaboration between myself and Bear Force Knives. So these are being made one at a time out of 1084. And the trick to this knife, let me show you. This Wander Tactical Smilodon is a 1/4 inch thick, okay? And then look at this. Holy crap. This is so much fun. These are available on pre-order, and they will be available with either, Dax, stop walking through the knives, you dumbo. A custom leather sheath from Spirit of the Bear Designs, my buddy Michael Spaniers, or from Black Bear Custom Kydex. So you're getting a premium knife thicker than anything else available on the market, more or less. And you will get a premium custom sheath as well. So I couldn't be more excited about these. These are inherently expensive. They're more expensive than I would like them to be, but it can't be cheaper. You can't do this cheaper and have these quality things. This isn't like me trying to hike up the price. This is me taking a lot of costs to the wallet, and it's still being expensive because it is what it is. I mean, it's crazy. Dang it, I'm running out of light. I talked about the Smilodon now, I think 3 times. I have absolutely enjoyed this knife. This knife is made in Italy of D2. I was the #1 hater of D2. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to shoot a crow. And then I'm going to eat it. And then I'm going to talk about D2. And I'm not saying that as like a... I'm literally going to do it. This is an amazing knife, guys. It's, bottom line, an amazing knife. One knife that I should certainly have already reviewed by now, the Reef Knives F6 with micarta handle scales. This sheath reminds me like crazy of the tops sheaths. The retention in it, nice click going in, but it is a little loose, a little bit on the loose side. And if I were to really give this a whole lot of encouragement, it is going to come out of here. Also, you've got the ferro rod loop, which hangs. A lot of people in your comments down the sheaths. Why do a lot of people in your comments down the sheaths? I see it a lot. I'm old enough to remember nylon. I'll talk about that in just a second. The ferro rod holder sticks out a little too far. That's not a big deal, but my spine is not sharp enough to reliably start a fire with a ferro rod, and that is kind of a bummer deal. Old Spice asks, why does everybody down the Ontario Knife Company sheaths? So when the Ontario Knife Company sheaths were leather, everybody downed them because nylon was cool. And then they became nylon, but everybody downed them because Kydex was cool. There's a little bit more to it than that. Then they switched over to a Chinese manufacturer, and the sheaths were really crappy. I don't hate on it because I grew up with Tops knives, and Tops still does this. Tops supplied absolutely garbage butt trash sheaths with very expensive knives. So I never worried too much about Ontario's and their price point sheaths. They work well enough to carry the knives, and I think that's honestly okay at the price point. Get one that you like enough, and then get a custom sheath for it, guys. A really good. If you want a really good sheath in leather or Kydex, it will cost as much as an Ontario knife cost. That is I realize you might not understand it. That is the reality of it. But I do love this knife, the way it fits in the hand. I am a huge fan. I don't know if I'm going to even worry too much about showing you guys any other knives so much, because I think it's too dark for you to probably even see it. If the quality was good enough for you to see it anyways, the Papa Bear Knives Essential. Love this thing. Really stout point. Fantastic belt knife, like Grail status, absolutely. This one is an A2. A surprising knife to me is this Tops Fire Creek. I'm sorry, Camp Creek Fire Edition. I'm supposed to be the guy who knows what I'm talking about, and I'm here, sitting here flubbing it. This knife, I guess I can't show it really well. This knife, I'm not familiar with Amtac. This knife is so well made and so different than any Tops I've ever used. And it's in a different steel, obviously, than they regularly use. They occasionally use S35VN. I wonder if Tops even made this knife. It is, in my experience so far, so good. Even the sheath, the leather sheath, is quite good. All right, the Beavercraft BSH4, again, you can't even see it. It's a good knife. It costs like 30 bucks. Game changer. They need to start talking to me about their designs before they release them. I would give them some advice for free because there's some issues with the knife. And I almost grabbed this knife first. I hope you guys can see these just legendary handle scales. This is a Bowie from Shadow Steel Forge. It fits my hand like a glove. I just love this knife. Its review is going to have to come pretty soon. The edge is a little bit thicker, but it's also higher, and it's convexed in a way where it works, unlike the Green Beret. It works. It doesn't look like it would work if you're as picky as I am and have spent as much time as I have, but man, does it. What a cool knife. Guys, I'm very clearly completely out of light. I apologize. I should have been out here a little bit earlier. I've been packing up knives all day. My AC cannot keep up with the insane heat and humidity here in Kentucky. So the house got up to like 74 degrees today, which is very hard on me. I don't like it hot. I sound like I hate saying that. I hate saying that because I go down to the Mennonites here and they don't have AC at all, and they're out there working. But I'm not a heat guy. I hate this. But anyways, today was a heck of a day. Today was wild. It was hot. I have knives in stock on ExodusKnifeandTool.com, and I appreciate every single order I get from you guys. These knives are made by White River Knife and Tool to the highest standard. Some of the best production manufacturing in the country is coming out of the White River Knife and Tool shop. They OEM for other companies as well. And whether you're a regular guy that's just familiar with regular brands, or you're a custom guy who goes to Blade Show, some of your favorite American-made knives are made by White River. Seriously, they are better, I think, or as good as any other production company, and they keep their prices lower, which helps me keep my prices lower. I'm very proud of what we've been able to do. So Exodus Knife and Tool, if you want to give me, if you want to get a really, really cool knife for your Fixed Blade Friday today. And then beachandtactical.com, I have 5 speed slings and a very special jacquard, which means woven instead of just dyed, cryptic mandrake. I will have another 10 of these slings eventually, and then I will not have any more of these at all. So I'm completely out of light. Thank you for watching. I'm sorry that I did things this way. I hope that you have a blessed day, and I will talk to you in the comment section below.